G'day and welcome to the Josh Wade Show. My name's Josh Wade. Thanks for fucking joining us today. We have a brilliant episode that's coming up. I don't know what we're going to fucking talk about, but we're going to talk about some pretty hectic shit. If you want to support the show, please help us out on Patreon. If you want to see any of the tiny subjects, just portions, short clips of today's episode, they'll be in the description down below. It's the best way to consume the stuff and then come back to the full episode. Today, we've got Eso. Welcome to the show, mate.
Thank you very much, brother.
You've been very, very, very much requested to come on here, and I'm glad we could finally fucking make it happen. Eso or esoteric? How do you want to go?
Look, it's esoteric, but you can say Eso.
Eso?
It's SOA, aka esoteric, whatever.
Okay, I like it because I'm pretty far down that world.
Yes,
and I know that you are as well. You've got some really interesting thoughts. You've had a really interesting life, and if you really listen to some of the music, there's some fucking stories to tell. But I guess let's go back. Let's start out. There's actually, I just noticed just there.
Yes.
Johnny Be Good.
Yep, my first release, that.
Yeah. Was it really? That was your first release?
Yep. Recorded at Australia's Wonderland.
Yeah. Oh,
yep.
Okay. Did they do like recordings there?
They had a little booth there,
yeah.
And the only song I knew was Johnny Be Good from Back to the Future.
Yeah.
So my dad said, "Get in there, mate." And I said, "Don't, I'm not doing it." It had a window, so the passing, people could just look in on you.
Yeah.
And I got about halfway through it, and I started crying, and I walked out, and Dad said, "You still gave it a go."
Yeah.
And he did that up for me. There's an actual guitar that my dad made out of wood and pieces from a dunny seat.
In there?
Well, you can't see it on that photo, in the actual photo. It's bigger. You can see I've got a little strap there, the guitar.
Oh, I thought you meant you had the bits. I meant the guitar was in that. But anyway.
Yeah, the hair is rocking.
So music's always been the thing, yeah?
Yes. Look, mate, I'll tell you where it started.
Mm-hmm.
All right? 5 years old. I'm living in the Blue Mountains.
Mm-hmm.
Born in Penrith. Then moved to the Blue Mountains. I was 5 years old. I had... there was not much around, all right? There was a video store / news agency down the road that had about 5 VHS videos, one of those terrible bloody stores.
Mm-hmm.
And it was Star Wars and a film called Breaking. And I wanted to be a Jedi. I believed in the Force. That was my religion. And Breaking had these two break dancers, Ozone and Turbo.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, I heard hip hop music through the dancing, and that was, I'd walk around the house with a lightsaber and wanting to bust a move.
Mm-hmm.
So my dad says, "All right, we're going for a trip to Hollywood." And I said, "Okay, cool." So I go to my mum and I said, "Where does Ozone live?" Now, that's not his real name. That's like calling Tom Cruise Ethan Hunt.
Yeah.
But she didn't want to break my heart. She said, Hollywood, right?
Yeah.
Could have lived in Ohio.
Yeah.
All the stars live in Hollywood.
Yeah.
So I go back to my dad and I say, "Look, mate, can you give me $1 American to give to Ozone when I get there?" Because in the movie, they're trying to raise money to keep this youth centre alive. The government's coming in, the council's coming in, they're going to demolish it and build a mall. So I thought it was real that I could come along and help out somehow. Anyway, so my dad gives me the $1 American and he goes, "No worries, mate, you give it to him." So we fly over there. I'm 5 years old. I'm not looking around for Ozone. Going to Disneyland. And on the last day, there's we're driving along Melrose and there's a car accident. And there's two dudes looking at the car accident. My mum looks over and she says to my dad, "Stop the fucking car, Don." And I look out there, and it's Ozone. He's standing there with some other dude. Get out of the car, and Ozone! I run up to him, grab him, hold on to him. He's just like, "What is this?" I'm like, "I'm the biggest fan, mate. I can't believe this is you." Actually, I didn't even say I can't believe it. I knew I was going to see him. Took him for a ride in his Jag, signed a picture to me, 2 Max, Be Cool, Shabadoo, which was his real name. And I walked away from it just like, what's for dinner? And my parents were just shaking, just like, how did you make that happen? I said, "Well, it's very simple. You said that we were going over to Hollywood. He's there. I'm going to see him. That's how it works, The world's doing its thing. He's doing his thing. I fly over, and from then on, I just knew that the power of the mind, that was it. There was something I was connected to. And so leaving LA, my mum bought me this little cassette tape called Power Rap. And it was like a mixtape of like Slick Rick songs. Yeah. So I had this little headphones on. I'm coming back to Australia and I'm listening to it and I start mouthing the words, "Motherfucker." And my mum's going, what what's that? And she tried to take the tape away from me, said that she burnt it. I found it next Christmas somehow. And so there was this hip hop that my mum and parents were trying to take away from me and not let me listen to. So I wanted to listen to it even more. And so from then, mate, it was, my mother used to, teach me, put your thoughts down on paper, whatever you really want. Put them down on paper and then put them in the freezer. And I said, why do I have to put them in the freezer? And she's like, to keep the thoughts fresh. And I thought that makes sense. And if I could show you what the first bit of paper had written on it that I had in the freezer, it was, to make a hip-hop group, to have someone come to our show. Not a whole bunch, just someone. And that's, I've just kept that with me my whole life, and that's how Bliss and Eso has done what they've done, and that's where it started, the magic for me.
That's great. So, because the problem I think is, and I think we both come from a pretty, blessed position where something like that's happened at a young age, and we had that moment. And for a lot of people, that they may never have that moment, or they don't recognise when that moment takes place, so they can't take action on it. Do you feel like in the world that we live in now that, I mean, like indigo children and that concept? Do you feel like you were part of that? Yeah.
Yes, absolutely, mate. Absolutely.
It's just uncanny. There's this, I mean, like you just said, there's moments that have happened in my life where that the switch goes off, or it goes. There's just no way. There's too many coincidences that take place where how did the domino fall that way to lead to that moment? So the hip hop group started. When did that start?
Went to a high school called Glennie and Rudolf Steiner School. Do you know about Rudolf Steiner schools?
No.
It's supposed to be a different way of teaching. I think my mum got fooled into it because they said that they didn't class kids. So in the maths, there wasn't a B maths group or an A maths group. It was just the one. Yeah. When that was a bit of bullshit. There was different classes. It was just they had no bloody carnival day. So there was no competition in sports and stuff. Yeah. Anyway, it was a weird school, mate. They had some classes where it was called eurythmy. So they had these golden rods, about 20 of them. And as you go into the classroom, you grab one and you walk around in circles, touching your toes with the rods. We had some French crazy bloody teacher who was talking about throwing Uzis into the ocean in Germany with his brothers and stuff like that. So we were learning all this wild stuff while touching our toes with these golden rods. Anyway, I met Jonathan. I met Bliss. And he was the only dude that was into hip-hop. It was very much, Nirvana, rock and roll. And he lied to me, all right? He said, I can rap. And I said, go ahead, mate. Bust me out something. And he busted out some verse from CNC Music Factory. And I didn't know the verse. So I was like, oh my God, he can. Yeah. So he said, come around to my house one day. And so I came around to his house. And it was having a partner. It was having someone else to be able to step out and have the balls and the courage to, put down our own rhymes on tape at that time. Yep. Because we started off, using other people's rhymes and changing a few words. Yeah, yep. And when we changed those words, the words we changed still sounded pretty bloody cool. So then you start purifying it even more until it's more you, And the first way we recorded, we had a tape player, a boombox here, and you had one tape in here with the beat on it. So you'd push play on that, so that's playing, and then you had the empty cassette tape on this side, pop that in, and you used to be able to push play and record at the same time and speak into the speakers and record it. So if we've got the beat playing here and we're rapping over the beat, it records it on that. If there's tapes you couldn't record on, you had to get little bits of paper and stuff it into the top of the cassette tape. It was primitive. Yeah, but what you're saying is exactly what's happening these days with fucking cunts on YouTube and shit like that and SoundCloud. Yeah, this is just the same thing, but before that, it's finding your own way to make fucking something happen without having anything at all. That's so interesting. No YouTube tutorial. There was nothing to teach us how to do it.
You just figured it out because there was no ifs or buts. That's just where we're going. So what can we do? We'll just get two fucking boomboxes and put them together. Right, what age was this?
This was like 16. Right. 16, 17. And then 18, that's when my dad actually worked for Walt Disney Animation, and he moved over to the States when I was about 12. And in the last year of year 11 here in Australia, 4 terms, and in the last term, you start year 12 work. So that's around October. So when it hit that term, my dad said, if you're about to start year 12 work, they're about to start year 12 in LA. So can't you just come straight over there and start your senior year if you're about to start year 12 work
Here, yeah.
So I talked to the principal. He said that should make sense. Flew over, did my senior year in Los Angeles, living with my dad. What a bloody experience that was, mate. I can't fully go into it. I was hanging out with some very, very strange people. I was guided. All right, there was this spiritual woman that my dad would see, and it's a miracle how he met her anyway. There was these cafes, and there was too many people, so they had to sit people together. So my dad was sat in this booth with this woman, and she became his spiritual, advisor. And she said, "Oh, I've got this son that raps." And he goes, "Oh, that's what my son wants to do." So then, when I flew over, I got this call from her son saying, "Yo, what's going on? This is Melee, head of Secret Society." I got, oh my God, I'm in touch with some underground. These guys just rap for the community. They don't take any money whatsoever, right? So they said, we're gonna come pick you up, and we're gonna take you down to Orange County where we live, and you're gonna stay with us for 2 days. And it was I was being guided, basically. I went into this room. There's a group of 12 MCs, and they were just freestyling. And I came in, and they were helping me grasp on how to freely do it. And the freestyling is where I find comfort and amazement. You can write down lyrics, but when you're freestyling, it's like improv. If you're tapping into something and it's in the back of your head, you know what I mean? And they took me in, and they were like, "Do you want to be part of the fire, the destructiveness that's burning it all, or do you want to be the water that puts out the flame? Because that's what's needed right now." I was going, oh my God, these guys are dropping knowledge on me. I mean, we were hitting some bloody heavy cuda too, so I was trying to keep my eyes open and then not say anything silly like I did at one point. "Oh, Dr. Dre was right." "What's that?" "This is the Chronic." No, and it was terrible. No one laughed, and I was just like, "Keep your fucking mouth shut." But yeah, they were teaching me things, dude, and they were like, "Look, when you're 23 and you keep going like this, you'll be on top of your game." And I didn't end up finishing school in LA. I had the hat, I had the gown. I was ready to throw it up. But I had so many different report cards because I'd been to so many different schools in Australia, 13 different schools. Not because I was a badass, it was because my mum was a gypsy. And so halfway through the year, they go, "Look, we can't work out where you're going to be academically, where you are academically. You'll have to come back and do summer school. You'll also have to come back and do nighttime school. So, 9 till 3 p.m., go home for a couple of hours, come back at nighttime." And I just went, "Dad, this is what they're asking me to do." And he goes, "Aren't you just going to go and do this rap thing?" And I said, "Yeah." And he goes, "Don't worry. Get an early start." So I came back to Australia, and that's when we picked it up.
Fuck me dead. So this is almost like you're an alien.
Yes.
I genuinely believe in myself, and when I meet other people, I'm like, fuck me, man, you're from some different fucking realm. The soul has come from somewhere else. That when those circumstances happen in life, that's not a story that most people can tell. Have you ever listened to anything like any of the speeches by like KRS-One and stuff like that? Like he's very deep into that like esoteric world, and I'm not sure if he is a Freemason, but I mean I've listened to some of the shit that he talks about, and it's just like holy fuck. Like I don't think people realise with rap in general how deep it goes once you go past sort of what you hear on the radio and sort of what's out now. I mean it is another form of poetry, but it goes even beyond that where
what's the word? Neurolinguistics. We're doing something subliminally to people's minds. Where we're we're making them, at one point get out of their home, all gather at a certain spot, where the live show is, which the definition of church is a place where like-minded people gather. I get that, and yeah, man, like it's always been a visual painting for me as well. You said KRS-One, and like one of his songs, the MC, that was the blueprint on the magic behind and the power behind what you have as an MC. It's verbal magic. What you say attracts, and we've always just tried to put out that good energy, mate. And when you're in the studio and you're not trying to make a hit, or you're not worried about what bloody radio is playing, and you're in there having a good time, that will reflect in the listener's mind. So that's what we've tried to do all the time, mate. And
what's that like then, going from, because it's like coming from two worlds as well, because you've got to play the game, and there is a game, and I always say it when I chat to people that are in a similar position to you. It's like it is show business at the end of the day, and it's 90% business,
yes,
10% show. You could be fucking jack shit, the dumb idiot, and fucking still make it if you've got someone smart behind you, but you're coming from a different area. So what's it like going, okay, cool, we've got fucking 10 tracks that are from the heart, they're they've got a meaning, they're not going to get played on radio, but we need to make that one hook, that one thing that's going to get people to go and listen to the other 10 songs. Do you like doing that? Do you still like making songs for the radio and things to dance to, or?
Look, like I said, we never sit there and try and make a song for the radio, or you're just going in the wrong direction. We try and just make a body of work how we want to do it, and then we'll look at it. And then you obviously have the label look at it, and they'll figure out, kind of what's, I guess, radio friendly.
Yeah, okay.
But in the process of making it, man, you just can't.
Okay.
Yeah. Hopefully, there's one song that doesn't have too much swearing in it.
Yeah.
But the record label, our record label, they've very much allowed us to have creative control. They never come in and tell us what kind of song to write. They have faith that what we do is what we do, and the people will like it. But yeah, man, it's about going in there and having fun. Even Michael Gudinski, the big wig, before going in and writing one of our albums, he goes, "You fucking remember this. Go in there and remember to fuck around. Remember to fuck around. Because when you take it too seriously, mate, it ruins it all.
Yeah.
It's like looking behind the curtain. Once I knew the production side of things and how a beat was made, the song didn't hit me all in one magical twist. Like, how is this happening?
You break it down.
I'm going, yeah, there's the snare and there's the bass line and stuff like that. So it's a shame to see behind the curtain. I try and stay in the magical land in front of it.
Yeah, it is. So, I mean, you've definitely lasted the test of time as well, which is hard to do in a world now where you've got every Tom, Dick, and Harry that's putting shit out, and there's so many rappers coming out of America that are under fucking 23, and they're just all these little what do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, there's
lils.
There's subcultures under subcultures, man. Like the difference between our fans are different. They're not just fans that go and buy a record and put a poster up in their room. They are tattooing our lyrics on their bodies. They're flying hundreds of kilometers to get to a show. And even when we did have a break for four years, when we came back, they were right fucking there. Yeah. Even though I know how recycled, music can be, and you're just, swiping to the next artist, you can, into a new artist next week. But there's a connection, mate, between our music and humans.
Right. So there's a difference between, width and depth.
Yes.
You can have 50 million people that follow your music, but do fucking a million of them really connect and care?
Yeah.
I wanted to go back to sort of the education stuff and not finishing school and stuff like that, because I know there's a lot of young people that watch this show and they love this topic of conversation because they're stuck. They're in a moment where they haven't figured out what they want to do. And like I said before, we've been lucky because we knew straight away off the bat sort of the direction that we're heading. Firstly, do you feel like the education system is sort of lacking and not really benefiting young kids today to go and foster and find what they want to do? And my follow-up question to that would be, let's say some cunt's sitting there right now watching. You don't know what he wants to do. Loves your music, loves you, loves those stories that you told before, but sitting there going, why hasn't that happened for me? How does that kid go out there and have that moment? How does he find that? Or she? It's 2017, women exist, sorry.
Look, you've got to find what excites you, what you love, you know, and then find out how what you love can be something that, you know, fuels and drives you. You know, you don't want to always think of, you know, what you love and how to turn that immediately into a business, you know. But it's, you know, you got to do some searching. You got to experience life a bit. But, you know, you as you grow up, you tend to know what you like and what you don't. And I think people just need to involve themselves in a world of, you know, what they do like, and having good people around you as well. You know, like. We didn't get here. I didn't get here by myself, you know. Like I was saying, it was having that, you know, not the pressure of having to go out by myself. I had this, you know, partner Bliss to be able to do it with me. So, you know, it's a tough one because I've had friends as well that have grown up with me and they're going, "Fuck, it's happening for you."
Yep.
Why isn't it happening for me? I don't have the answer for it because it's really in you.
Yeah.
So you've just got to find what you love and attack that, you know, like.
What it hurts me.
It's a tough one.
It hurts me because I feel like I'm in a position where I go, I'm going to be fine. I know on my own head and my own willpower, and I guess you'd be exactly the same. It's like I'm not even in my own race. I hate using that. It's like there is no race. It just is. This is what it is, and this is where we're going. But I hate knowing that not everyone's going to fucking have that. And I want to fucking figure out a way. Like, I feel like where I want to go, whether it is with what I'm doing, whether it's with your music, what is that main message that you want to get across? Is it for people to go out and find their fucking thing? And what is that one thing, if you could sum it all up in every single song, what do you want that person to leave thinking or feeling or doing?
Look, we all want to belong. You know, we want to belong to something. And, you know, growing up in Australia, I just felt like, you know, when I was 5 years old, it was the RSL down the road and cricket on the TV. And I just felt like I wanted a culture. So when I found hip-hop, I was amazed by it. And everything that said I shouldn't do it, which was all over the place back then, it was like, that's not your culture, you can't do it. You know, you're Australian, you can't do it. And we fought against all of that. All the older dudes that were calling us, oh, you want to be homie G's, are the dudes that want tickets to our shows now.
Yep.
You got to fight through the doubt, because doubt is being sprinkled in your mind every day. You know, if you want to be a basketball player but you're short, you go to try out for the team and the coach says, nah, you can't make it, you're too short. There's Spud Webbs out there that are, you know, 4'9", Duncan. You've got to fight through it. It's the power of the mind. You know, I believe that we are all gods. You know, we're all gods manifesting our own worlds. And you just have to focus on what you want and, you know, be grateful for the miracles that are happening all around us, mate. You know, a miracle isn't wishing for a Lamborghini and it pops in the driveway. The miracles are happening right now. Those flowers that are blooming in my backyard. But we walk past them every day like, oh, yeah, that's average. You know, we really need to knock down on what's, you know, important in life. And, you know, the internet, you know, it's not real. You know, you wake up and you grab your phone before you've even taken a shit and you're on Instagram and you're watching bum fights and rappers beef and, you know, car accidents. And it's, you know, the mind is a field of fertile soil. And every thought that gets thrown in there is a little seed. You know, whether I'm watching TV and it's saying buy a Kodak camera, it's up to me whether I let that seed grow.
Yep. Yep.
If you've got nothing but negative seeds being thrown into your head and you're dwelling on them and letting them grow, you've got a dark shrubbery.
Yep.
A little cloud of shit. But if you're focused on the good stuff all the time, mate, and even if there's bad things that happen, you can see the light side on it. You just grow the beautiful flowers, mate. I dangle, fruit comes flying out my fucking head.
Yeah, fucking oath.
You know,
You're spot on. It's
be
like
the guiding light for other people. You can't find what other people want, mate, but you can give the drive to them to want to.
water the fucking seeds. If you
Yes,
put a
mate.
tomato seed here and a fucking poison ivy seed here and water them, they're both
Thank
still
you.
going to grow.
That's right.
Rip that fucking cunt
Rip
out.
that fucker out.
Yeah, fucking spot on. I
Yeah.
like that. There you go.
Michael Jordan has a little book that he wrote that's right in tune with that. And there's another book called As a Man Thinketh, where
I like this book, yeah.
there's different ways. I pick things from different religions. I don't find one that just that's me soul one boom.
Yeah.
I went to a 7-day Adventist school and I was very young and I was taught the scriptures and everything, and I just said it's a lovely story, and I can see these certain parts and I'll grab those morals, but got to question everything. And
I do. I think exactly the same. I mean, I went to a Catholic school, and my first fucking tattoo was a cross on my wrist. I thought, what can I get that I won't regret? That's the only fucking tattoo that I regret. But,
Yeah, right.
But I went to this Catholic school, and I started to realize growing up, because Did you question everything?
Of course.
Okay, yeah. Well, I was questioning everything, and the first time that I questioned something and that got shut down, like you were talking about with doubt before,
yeah,
that was almost like the domino. It was like, oh fuck, there's some things that you're not allowed to ask.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Yeah.
Fuck that. I'm
Yeah.
asking everything now,
Yeah.
cunts. You just set a fire off. So, do you think religion and, like you said, you take bits from everywhere? I feel like I went through a phase. Did you go through a phase where you just went, fuck all religion, like I'm atheist, none of it exists, and then come back to respecting it for what it is and the stories that it tells and sort of the mythology side of it, as opposed to just being a control system?
yeah. That's kind of why I said it's a lovely story.
Yeah.
I've always believed in something powerful, whether it's up there or inside us. And then I went on a quest where God is the sun. Let there be light. Ba-ba. We need the sun for things to grow.
Yeah.
It comes every but I do believe there's there's energies and spirits. I feel like my spirit will continuously go on. I don't know whether my spirit has look, there's all kinds of crazy things. If you look at the ape,
Yep.
apparently when the monkey kind of got upright and it made its transitions, that there's a middle transition there where it went from monkey to kind of human, but they can't define the extent that it just jumped. There's vocal cords that aren't from the DNA of of the monkey. So some people are saying there's figures of light from up above that came down and put that bit of DNA in the monkey that then led to us, mate. I'm not going to sit and just go, this is the one, because I don't know.
No.
And I like not knowing.
Yeah.
If you look at the stars, and then you trace them all together, and you back out. All of it is just one big brain. We're looking at ourselves, flipping ourselves inside out, trying to understand it. We can't.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I like that.
Yeah.
But we're all searching for it.
We're searching for something we're never going to fucking find.
No, mate. And I used to think that, if we're never going to find it, that's shit. But no, mate.
No, that's sort of, isn't that the most beautiful thing about life?
I felt quite content saying that.
Yeah, I always feel better just like sitting here thinking, we'll never know, and how beautiful.
That's it.
How beautiful that this is it. There is a table, there is something that's put this table together. One of the, I had a science lesson. I fucking hated science, but I had this science lesson, and we were being taught about solids, liquids, and gases, or something like that's what it is, isn't it? Yeah. So I didn't fucking listen that much, but about the protons and atoms or whatever that connects it all together, and that through the electromagnetic fields or whatever, the reason that this stays together is because they're they're stuck together stronger, and then a water's a bit different.
And we could probably put our hands through that if we could just push aside those atoms, and they're just together like that.
So what is that energy that's holding it together? That to me is the more fascinating part. What is constructing this world? And I'd love to hear your opinion on this, because I heard this one theory that I was like, fuck, what if that's true? Multiverse. I mean, I'm sure you've looked into it. I'm sure there's plenty of theories on it. But there's people that say that the way that this life works is that nothing else actually exists around us. Like, we're in sort of a little bubble, right?
Yeah.
Nothing else has happened yet except for what's happening now. Now, the bubble around me and the bubble around you, our two worlds have now entered each other.
Yes.
Our multiverses have entered each other.
Okay.
Right?
Yep.
Nothing else exists yet, depending on how we think or whatever, what we attract.
Yep.
So when we leave that world, you're going to run it, and this is where these weird coincidences happen.
Yes.
Because, that's you're manifesting it. You're manifesting that other little world. So it's almost like we just live in this tiny little bubble. We're all in the same bubble now. It's not like there's, another world where you and I are sitting here, but, I've got a much bigger dick than what I actually really do. Like, maybe that is
possibly.
the way. Well, we can only hope. But, but the multiverse exists in this...
on this planet, in this realm?
Yeah, just in this realm, in this bubble. And it's all still happening. We're all still experiencing the same thing.
Yeah, yeah.
But we're still experiencing it our own way. I don't know how.
And there's too many of us that think we've got it all under control. Look in the mirror, you got the suit, and we're just globules, and we're just floating through bloody space. It's all amazing, but we forget that it's amazing, and they control us. They control us, mate. You wake up, they got the news, feed us with fear. We all know this, but it's programming, And then when you go to work and you slave away for some other man or some other business to be bigger, and not yourself. If you're not self-employed, which they don't really teach in school how to kind of do that.
They
build
teach
your
workers.
own.
They build workers.
That's right. Yeah. That's right. I lost myself there.
Sorry, I fucked you up.
No, you're right. I thought it started thinking about worker bees and the queen and...
The fear, and they program us, and the controlling.
Yeah, and then you finish work, and then there's the news again, right there at 5 to fuck you over again. Yeah. And I find that,
so
especially when I'm we're writing or recording albums, and, we're in an area where we can't get internet, and we're not on our phones, and we're not watching TV. Yep. Fuck, it's beautiful. Fuck, that's a moment of clarity that you just can't get in this world. That Jim Carrey said it recently. He was like, there's people that strive their whole life to get luxury cars and the big fucking house. And then there's others that want the cabin in the woods to be far away from those fuckers. And I feel like I've gotten to that point. I wanted the condo in the city when I was younger, to be in the mix all the time. And my dad's like, I've got this farm out in Mudgee, come and visit me. I'm like, farms. There's no excitement. I want the farm out in Mudgee.
Yeah. I want both, though.
Yeah.
True.
See,
that may change. That may change.
Yeah.
But right now, like, I was just went to Europe with a couple of my mates and that. And anyway, this is going to sound fucking ridiculous, and it is reckless spending, but whatever. I had these eyes on these pair of Gucci shoes, and I was like, fuck, I want these pair of Gucci shoes, right?
Sure, all right.
I understand, though, where that thought's coming from.
Yes.
I know that's the materialistic mind. Here I am, I'm spending every week fucking preaching fucking kumbaya and shit like that.
That's
and then over
fine.
here, I'm sitting here jacking myself off going, I need money, right?
Yeah.
But I want these fucking shoes, right? Anyway, I didn't have much money to go away. I was like, fuck, I'm really going to be skinging it, but whatever, let's go do it. And then this opportunity came up a few days before I went to Europe, right? This is one of these cool little fucking idiosyncrasies that happen. And they call me up and they said, there's a music festival, and they go, we want you to do an ad for this, we'll put it on Facebook or whatever. They gave me a price, and I said, the fucking, the Donald Trump in me came out and said, oh, look, no, I'll do it, but I'll do this, and this. We'll add this on, but I want this money for it. And I thought, no, they won't say yes, and fuck it, whatever. I'll just get the day off. That's what I'm thinking in my head. But at the same time, sort of got my fingers crossed. I think, well, fuck, if I get this ad, then that'll mean I'll get to go and get me shoes that I want.
It.
And sure enough, they came back and they said yes. I went, fuck yeah. Flew down to Melbourne, did the ad. It was something the whole time. Like, I'm selling myself out here. Like, I fucking hate. Like, the script was terrible. Everything was shit about it. I'm like, this is going to be painful for me to upload and have to put on my page, but fuck it, sometimes I've got to do things. It's going to pay for me little break that I need, and I'll get me shoes at the end.
Get your Gucci gang.
Yeah, exactly. And went down, did it, and then came back, and then they just never emailed me about the ad. Like, they mustn't have put it up, because it had a bunch of different people in it, but I knew the script was shit, and the people that must have commissioned it must have gone, this is shit, we're not putting it up. So I've come away with this nice little cash reward, which nothing ever came from it, and I was like, well, okay, if it is that simple, then maybe I aim too low again. What the fuck am I doing? Spending me time worried about trying to manifest a fucking $1,000 pair of shoes.
Yes.
So I can get them dirty, or they'll sit in the box because I'm too scared to fucking wear the cunts.
Yes.
What if I spent that time on a fucking, being happy, or figuring out manifesting happiness in myself?
Mate, when I was in primary school, I had a math test on Friday. And it was Monday. Every fucking day, I was talking about it. I don't know what I'm going to do about it. I really don't want to fucking do it. I know I don't like the teacher. I don't know. And then Friday came, maths test, boom, did it, and it passed. And my dad said, did you see how you wasted that whole week?
Yeah.
You wasted Monday to Friday worrying about that shit. And it came and it passed. And you could have been enjoying your life.
Yeah.
And we just get hung up on things, and think about, you think about people you resent and what you might say to them if they say this to you, and your mind,
imaginary,
forget about it.
But we all still do it. That's the thing, and that was sort of
you
the
got
point
to train yourself, right?
It's a push-pull thing where you're like, we can say this all the time. We can believe in it, but it's like you've also got to fucking execute on those thoughts, and it's tough when you are in this world that you're talking about, where you've got Carl and Lisa fucking telling you about, what's happened on Donald Trump episode 365 days, or what's going on over here, or then you're on Twitter, and then you're sitting here and you go, I think it's too much.
It is too much, mate.
You know what scares the shit out of me is that there are people, and another person that I know, people are fucking knocking themselves off. Yeah.
It's a huge problem,
People are knocking themselves off. They're killing themselves. They don't need anyone else to do it for them anymore. I mean, I've gone through those. I mean, I'm sure there's lots of people that have sat around and thought, "Oh, what if it's been there for a second?
Yeah,
it lingers. What the fuck happened in society? When did this all become a thing? Because we're beasts of survival.
Yeah,
our whole thing is to stay alive as long as possible. When did it flip and go, I don't want to survive at all?
Yeah. Look, mate, it's a sad fact, especially with this country as well. Like, I don't know, I was doing the numbers with my mate one day, and it seems with our population, we have a huge number for suicides. And
men.
Yeah, and it's I've had close friends that have done it, and it leaves a trail of destruction behind, and we just need to be able to. It's hard, man, because no one can tell sometimes that it's happening, and you can ask that friend, are you okay, 1,000,000 times, and if they're not, letting you in, you just can't figure it out, and it's really sad, man, and I find that, especially in kind of country, rural parts of Australia, they're so bored, and it's so easy to just turn to drugs for that excitement in a boring place, and there's no guidance in there as well. So if you don't have good support with you or good friends, and you're coming down by yourself, you could be thinking wicked things.
Yeah.
It's a hectic situation, man, and this country needs to needs to be aware of it and know that it's going on. And
that's the hard part. We have like your are you okay and stuff like that. Yeah. And I mean, there's times, and I'm sure there's times for you where you put the barriers up, and it don't matter who it is. It could be my mum, it could be anyone. It's like, no, it's just no one's getting in. This is why I'm like this. It's because I've got this way because I don't let anyone in.
Yeah.
and it is a complex issue, because what more do you do without impeding on someone's, also their own free will to live? And I know you talked about, the kids, kids in the country and that, and, a lot of them listen to your music and they connect with stories and things like that do help them get through. And I'm sure, I'm almost fucking 1,000% positive that you get hectic fucking messages of people that have gone through all hell. And
it's they're never it's never something small like, oh, thanks for the music, you made my day great. It's long emails, and there's hundreds a week of how the music saved their life, or how it was right there for them in a point where they needed it. Like I'm talking where someone, had gone to Bunnings, had the rope, was ready to do it, and one of our songs was playing in his bedroom, and the lyrics stopped him from doing it, and then he wrote this huge letter to us. And it's amazing, mate. It's beyond any awards or really, any charts. This is music that can like change lives in a good way, and we want to empower people through the music and know that they can do anything. And when you come to a Bliss and Eso show, you feel welcome, whatever size, whatever color, girl, guy, and that's church, But, and I guess that's where you go to get reminded, to keep thinking like this. But we're not playing in your town every Sunday.
Yeah.
So it's hard to stay on that track,
Yep.
And keep yourself positive. That's why you've got to kind of,
Your vibe attracts your tribe.
Yeah, absolutely.
And what you just said about church and stuff like it, we are essentially just looking for connection.
Absolutely. And to belong.
Yeah, to feel approved and loved.
Yeah.
Was when you started doing music, was this always the goal, or was it? I mean, I'm sure it was one of the goals, but was there ever a time where you went through that, period where you're in this bubble of fame and everything's going fucking awesome and it's wild, and that goal sort of gets diminished a little bit, and the like, I've listened to Devil on the Shoulder, and I connect with that a lot, because I felt like I've gone through similar things where it's like everything's coming at you so fast, and you live sort of this live fast, die young mentality, and then it just stops one day, and you get that. Like, I want to go into that, because I think why you connect and why Bliss and Eso connect with a lot of people is you've gone through your own struggles anyway. It's not coming from a fucking, Macklemore position where, and I've got nothing against Macklemore, but it just, it's not there to just, appease people. It's a fucking story, and it's real, and it's raw, and it hurts listening to it, because we've all gone through it. Take me back to, like, everything's going good, things are starting to take off. So where did this live fast, die young mentality start? Everything's on that up and up now. Everything's going. The dream is reality at this point. Mm-hmm. When does everything become a bit more cloudy, and then,
So we did our first live show in 2000, January 21st. And ever since that live show, everything started happening for us. Around 2004, that's when we put out our first album. And, there was this great buzz happening. But behind all the curtains, my mother was sick with cancer. Mm-hmm. And so in 2004, she passed away. And so I was on the, in the hospital room with her, holding her hand as, she's gone. So I felt, a spirit leave another body. And I had to be strong. I couldn't fold, That's what she wanted. She needed me to be strong. And the music was going so well, I could just fall right into this musical world. But, along with this musical world and the industry that we fell into, if you have addictions or you have demons, the music industry seems to fuel it and feed it. So, after that, I started, my drinking became quite heavily, where it was, wake up in the morning and grab a long neck when no one's looking.
How much drinking? Like just
a case a day.
Fuck me.
And
were you drunk, or was that just to maintain that sort of feeling of escapism or enough to get through?
Yeah, it was to numb the mind and not remember certain things. And then wherever we go and perform, it's a celebration. So everyone wants to party. It was always a party, and we took that party wherever, mate. I was the after party.
Yeah.
And 10 years of that, I was pretty bloody good, mate. I was blind drunk, and I remembered every fucking lyric. No one was pulling me up going, "Oh, you were a little bit too sauced. You didn't say your words right." I was quite bloody good at, performing like that.
That's the worst part, though.
Yes.
You can't get that good at being fucking that fucked up.
Yes. So after 10 years of this, we had the opportunity to go to Afghanistan and play for the troops. And I said, "Oh, fellas, the closest I want to be to war is in my lounge room playing Call of Duty." Knowing that that's a bit of a bullshit answer, I knew that it was dry areas on the bases over there, and that I would have my first days of having to be off piss.
Yeah.
So I tried not to go as much as I could, but the boys, they're like, "This is when you're going to get this experience again." This is, we've got fans over there that would, a situation where they could not think about the war for 2 seconds and have us come and jam out. It'd mean the world to them. So he's made me think about that. But I knew to myself, I do have a cousin in the ASS, or SAS, sorry. So he might be able to help me out. Anyway.
So you're already making plans.
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
I know.
He's not over there, so he's talking to his mates.
Yeah.
Anyway, we fly over there and we do our shows. I wasn't drinking. So the first 3 days, it wasn't like being at home and having to stop drinking and, what am I going to do? I was putting on bulletproof vests. I was busy, mate. I was in Hercules plane, so I wasn't thinking about it,
Yep.
Naturally tired by the end of the day, fall asleep on the bunk, Then eventually, some boys found me and some beers, and, I kind of weaned off the alcohol over these 7 days in Afghanistan.
Yep.
Bits here and there. And then at the end of our tour of Afghanistan, we flew straight from Afghanistan to Canada, where we started a Canadian tour. That first day in Canada, mind you, I've gone to the airport now. We're at Emirates. I'm not at the bases. There's literally a beer waterfall where you just put your cup there. I've filled up 2 pints. I'm ready.
Yeah.
I had a sip on one, and I couldn't even have any more. Flight over there, I've got an Asahi, 1 sip. It wasn't going down. Get to Canada.
Are you feeling guilt?
It's something physical inside my body. It's like the body's gone, "Mate, we're on the right fucking path here. Get this shit out."
Yeah, yeah.
And so we land in Canada, and I said to DJ Ism, I said, "Look, mate,
that's some thunder, by the way. Fuck me.
That's good.
That is good.
That adds to the
Yeah, we've
the feel.
conjured some fucking demons now.
Frank, calm down, mate. Frankie, shh. So we land in Canada, and I say to DJ Ism,
That's a great Facebook clip, by the way. That'll be the promo video.
I've got to say, I said to him, "Look, I got to give up the piss. My body's telling me to." And he goes, "We're about to start this tour, mate. Like, you can't go to rehab. You can't go. You're going to have to do it on tour." And I said, "I don't care where I am. I've got to do it right fucking now." So 2 days, no alcohol. We're in Vancouver, and that's when it all starts coming to shit. That's when the withdrawals start hitting in. It's like having the flu times a million. My body was just,
Were you a cunt at the same time?
Was I a cunt at the same time? Yes. Yes. I needed to be immediately in a hotel room, in a bathtub, with DJ-ism, turning it hot to cold, while I just cursed the world out.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I've got to call up my father, and I've got to let him know that I've been drinking so fucking heavy for the last 10 years. It's all come to a head right now. I'm in a bad place. I think I need you. I don't know just yet. He was in LA. I'm in Canada. He's like, I could tell by the photos. There was a VB can in a lot of the shots, but he didn't make me go through it all. He just went, okay, that's that. Let's fucking fix it. I'll drive up in a car right now. I'll come and get you. So having the support of my dad being able to say, I'll come and get you whenever you need me, mate, was right there behind me. Fourth day in, that's when I'm lying in the hotel room. DJ-ism's looking after me. I look up to the ceiling and it's just bloody glow bugs. That's all I can see. And I tell DJ-ism, all I can see is glow bugs. And he goes, all right, we've got to call the ambulance. Calls up the bloody ambulance. They come up into my hotel room. They look at me. They get me in the bloody gurney. I'm going down the elevator in a bloody gurney. I'm thinking my life's about to fucking end. I get to the bloody hospital. They put me on a drip. They give me some bloody Valiums.
Yep.
And then from the bloody hospital, I go straight onto stage with a bloody, hospital band on.
Yep.
And I had to get, straight from the stage to the back of the bus.
Right.
Not see any fans after the show. And it was like that for about 10 days, just non-stop. I had to go to hospitals in every town that we went to, get on drips, and curse the world out. Mind you, the bus driver that we had of the bus was amazing. He said, what do you need? And I said, I need new Grand Theft Auto and a PlayStation 4 on the back of this bus. He pulled over at a Kmart, boom, bought it for me straight away. So I needed take my mind away from things. So I basically got through those 10 days, 10 days of hell, to fly to Los Angeles. I flew my girlfriend over from Sydney.
Yep.
We went to Las Vegas. We got married, where Michael Jordan and Frank Sinatra did. Yep. And we drove off into the sunset on four-wheeler dirt bikes. And I was off the piss. I was a better man. And the rainbow and the new life had started.
Right. Was that it?
That was it.
That was it.
That was it.
It just started raining, by the way, so if you can...
Yes.
Oh, it's hailing. Okay, so...
I don't have a tin roof.
We really conjured up some fucking shit, man. But...
Yeah, man.
What a story. So, and when was this? How long ago was this?
This was exactly 4 years ago.
4 years ago.
Yeah.
Right, so what was that? 2013, 14? 2013?
I believe that, something like that.
Yeah.
And so,
Not good at maths.
When it came to writing this new album, we were playing it quite safe. We were writing Bliss and Eso songs that sounds like Bliss and Eso, and we've done that before. And it was actually our record label who said to us, you guys personally have amazing life stories that you're not putting into your music.
Yeah.
And I don't think you realize what kind of change and movement you can start by actually opening up like that.
Mm.
And first off the bat, I was like, I don't want a song that's going to remind me of those moments, or how do I tackle it? I don't want it to be a sympathy story. I don't. So it was hard to find a place to write that and to put your demons and addictions into a story. So I sat in my garage and I just opened up. I didn't think about this type of person listening to my music. I didn't think, an underground hardcore head needs to hear this, or I just wrote it from the heart, and I wrote it from the real experience, and it's one of the best things that I've done, man. I mean, it's when we did a survey on what song people were vibing to the most off the album, Devil on My Shoulder was the one.
Yeah.
And I think especially with, you know, Australia being the drinking country that it is, that hit the nail on the head for a lot of people. And so it was therapeutic writing, is what it was.
I mean, like for me, I never really had a problem with alcohol, but I still connected to it with my own addictive personality on things that I was addicted to, and it was like something was speaking to me through that, and I from there, I mean, that whole time was quite a tumult. Like everything probably came crashing down, and it was a real rough few years. And then even was it last year? You had the music video and the fucking absolute tragedy that happened there. Yeah. Like it just seemed like there must have been something the universe had blocked off this time to go, right, you're going to go through some fucking real thinking time now. Yeah. This is get up and go. Do you feel like that time has taken you to a new place in your head, maybe a calmness that maybe never existed before? You're like, I've navigated some seas now, and I've learned a lot more about myself. And do you feel that?
Absolutely. You know, and it wasn't too long after I got off the alcohol, I married the lady of my dreams.
Yep.
That I had a beautiful baby boy 2 years later. That's what
that day.
Yeah. I mean, up until that point, it was Afghanistan and that whole trip and the remaking of myself. But watching my baby being born, man, that was like watching the fucking Exorcist with a Disney ending.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Fairy dust came out. It was, you know, and the strength, I know I don't want to sound cliche here, mate, but the strength of my lady, to see her in such pain, and I can't do anything about it, I can't help her. It was helpless, you know, but she fucking strong and she's pushing through it, mate. And I didn't want to even cut the cord because I'm still not sure if it's got to hurt someone.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
But my wife's sister was the midwife. So when the baby was coming out, get in there, mate. And I put my arms in between under his armpits. I pulled him out. I had beats playing. I had a JBL speaker just cranking instrumentals. Yeah. At one point, the missus was on the happy gas. She went, "Oh, do you mind putting some Drizzy on?" I was like, "You don't even like Drake." No, and I'm not letting Drake's lyrics infiltrate my baby as it's coming out. It needs to be just beats. Yeah. That's what changed my life for the better, mate. Along with obviously getting off the alcohol, but having my baby boy and having a strong partner like my wife. That's my mecca right there. That's my kingdom.
That just comes back to, again, this theme that seems to be this episode of connection. Yeah. You found your ultimate connection. Yeah. When we go to shows and we like certain fucking music and television and shit like that, it almost feels like it is connection to some sort, and it's almost like a temporary connection for a little bit. Yeah. But you found that permanent connection. The reason that we are put on this goddamn earth is to love something, and if it's a human, that's probably what it needs to be. Yes. Doesn't need to be the iPhone, doesn't need to be the fuckwit Gucci shoes.
That's right. That's
what we're told it has to be.
But it's got to be done right as well. Okay? Because if you don't have that partner that you're bonded with and you know inside out, and that laughs with you, and you know what I mean? Yeah. Your soul person, and then you go and create another human, and that love's not there, that's when, families fall apart, and, children see things they shouldn't see. I was very lucky to find Megan, and I just want to be able to provide a home that is full of love, full of adventure, and you've got to make sure that you find a partner that's going to be there with you, and that's gangster enough to just go through the shit with you.
Well, I mean, we've come out we've come out to where you live, which is probably 50 minutes out of Sydney.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're not living in this rock star lifestyle of fucking Drake and all the rest of it, mate. You're a modest, real bloke
Mm-hmm.
that's had an amazing fucking story. You're still living it.
Yeah.
You're using the power of your mind.
Yes.
You're manifesting shit.
It's still hard.
It's still hard,
Still
but it's
hard to
fucking
stay
real.
positive.
It's real.
Yeah.
And we need to tell people and get people into that mindset of you don't need to be just one thing.
Yes.
You were not put on this earth to make someone else's dreams come true.
When I got ready to answer a question, if you asked me, so what do you do for a living?
Yeah.
I thought my answer should have been I'm a rapper. But all things came to me. I'm a father. I'm a husband. I'm a seeker. I'm a dreamer. I'm a
Yeah.
tripper.
Yeah.
I'm a friend. I'm a
bitch, I'm a lover,
Yes.
I'm a liar, I'm a mother, I'm a sinner, I'm a saint.
I'm a smoker. I'm a toker. We're more than just one thing. And I think that, especially when you're growing up, they say, so what are you going to be when you're older? And you've got to pick this one thing, like a fireman or a policeman or a doctor. Fucking why not a whole bunch?
What the fuck?
Just put your love into all types of different things.
Yeah.
You know, and that's why, I love the music, but I also love comedy.
Yeah, I know.
I love getting in front of the camera. I love, being a silly bastard.
Yep.
If I didn't have hip hop, I'm sure somehow I would have been.
You'd be in this industry in one way or another.
I'd be on stage, letting the lights shine out the pits somehow, mate.
Yeah.
Like fuck.
You're put on earth to bring value to someone else. I think that's what a lot of people miss, is that we're all here to provide value to each other in an exchange for value from someone else.
Yeah.
It's a trade.
Yeah.
And that's missed. It's totally missed. And what you just said then is true. When you have that one questioning kid, when you're a kid, what do you want to be when you're older? That is so self-absorbed.
Yeah.
Doesn't trade off for anything. It's one thing and that's it.
And my mum never kind of put those rules on me. It was like, you can be a Jedi. You can be a break dancer. And as I went through my phases in life, I saw Young Guns for the first time. I want a Billy the Kid hat.
Yeah.
One of those weird round hats. Had to go to bloody the city to go get one. I bought it. I put it on. I went, fuck, I'm never wearing that out in public.
Yeah.
But she allowed me to have that moment, buy it. I went and saw Mo Money, More Problems.
Yeah.
A Denzel Washington and Wesley Snipes jazz film.
Yeah.
Give me a trumpet. I want to be a trumpet player. Goes to a second-hand store, buys me a trumpet. I suck. Fuck, put it down. At least she gave me that go. I want to be a drummer. Went to a drumming lesson. He asked me to hold them like this. I wanted to fucking crank them like that.
Yeah.
Forget about it. Saw Karate Kid. I want to be...
Yeah.
So I go to a karate class where they make you run around the oval for 2 hours.
Yeah.
I said, no, thanks, Dad. I want to be... But at least they were letting me try,
That's the key word.
Yeah.
Try.
Yes.
Nobody tries. Well,
Mate.
not nobody, but not enough people go out and find what they want to do.
Yeah.
I love asking people. I said, what do you want to do?
Yeah.
After every show, every single cunt that I meet, and I make it a rule in myself. I go,
Yeah.
what do you want to do? What's your name? Where you from? What do you do? That's my three things. And when people say, I don't know, you didn't fucking look. Try.
Yes.
And you did.
Yeah.
Man, I think a lot of people are going to fucking... I mean, this has probably been my favourite episode we've done so far, because I think it's been... I think in its own value, people send you letters about songs changing and, I think there's going to be a few moments that people will watch this and it'll be their aha moment.
Good.
The moment that, and I think that's
so.
what I wanted out of this.
I hope so, mate.
Yeah.
Because we're all streams of beaming light. And, everyone wants to throw shade on your shit. You just got to shine on them. Smile. It confuses people. We've been programmed so much to put ourselves in these little tiny boxes. Just look outside it. When I was in kindergarten and you get the bit of paper and you write your name on the top, everyone writes their name on the top of the bit of paper, and you pass that bit of paper around, and everyone writes a word on what they think of that person whose name that is. When mine came back, it was strange, weird, different, funny. And I felt a little, am I weird? Am I strange? And I showed my mum and she went, that is awesome. That means you're coming from a different place they don't know. You know, be strange, be weird, be different. You know, don't stick to the plan, don't stick to the box, mate.
Yeah, fucking embrace it.
Yes.
And I almost feel like I was thinking the other day, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. You know, when you told people that you want to be a rapper, or, you know, this is what you want to do, right? You get people out there that think you're delusional.
Yeah.
A little bit fucking, yeah, you're good, but, you know, don't get too ahead of yourself. That sort of shit, right? I think the real key that I'm just figuring out now is disillusion.
Yeah.
To succeed, you have to be fucking insanely fucking delusional.
Yes.
To the point where it's a psychopathic desire
Yes.
and a psychopathic delusion to make it happen.
Yes.
Because disillusion is simply the illusion that everyone else is seeing, but in a totally different way.
It's seeing what you want to see.
Yeah.
You believe it when you... What is it? You believe it when you see it. I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah, it's the other way around, motherfucker.
I'll see it when I believe it. And I did. And it's fucking beautiful.
Yeah. We'll end on that. SO, mate. Thank you fucking so much for coming on the show.
Mate. My pleasure,
Thanks for letting us into your house. Appreciate it. We've had some hail. We've had fucking everything. Mate, we'll put your social medias and everything down. Everyone knows who the fuck you are anyway, so we'll see you next week.